Hello, movie lovers! Welcome back to The Movie Hunter. Today, we're diving into Terra Nova, original title Novaya Zemlya from 2008, directed by Alexander Melnik. I stumbled across a wild clip on social media, soldiers dumping prisoners on a frozen island, two groups clashing right away, and it hooked me so hard I had to track down the full movie. This Russian dystopian thriller is brutal, thought-provoking, and shocking, blending prison drama, survival horror, and cannibalism in a way that really makes you think about human nature when all rules disappear. It's got intense violence, deep ideas about power and society, and some scenes that are hard to forget. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Stick around to hear why this underrated gem blew me away and why it deserves more attention. Before we dive deeper into this chilling dystopian experiment, I'd love your support for The Movie Hunter. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It means the world to me. Thanks so much in advance for joining the hunt. The plot is set in a near-future dystopia around 2013, where the death penalty has been abolished worldwide, prisons are overflowing, and international organizations, with a hint that Americans are behind the big ideas, decide on a radical experiment. They ship a group of dangerous prisoners, mostly lifers, to a remote, freezing Arctic island called Novaya Zemlya, New Land, to see what happens when they're left to their own devices. They get barracks, some tools, basic food, and a button on a floating device by the shore. If they want rescue, press it. The movie starts in prison cells, where inmates are asked what they want most. One bossy prisoner says he wants to be the manager of a prison. Ironic, right? Most accept the exile, though it feels forced, get transported by ship and dropped off. Freedom, but no oversight. Almost immediately, chaos erupts. The prisoners start killing each other. A Chechen group organizes fast with axes and knives, taking control. One quiet, older, religious man stands out. He's respected as an elder, but once in power, even he orders mass killings. The Chechens get wiped out in the fights. The survivors create their own twisted society. They rebuild a prison system on the island. One group becomes the upper class and guards, and that guy who wanted to be prison manager, he becomes the warden. Others are back to being prisoners. But one guy is different, Zhilin. Konstantin Lavranenko, a former pilot serving life. He isolates himself on high ground, living alone until winter forces him back. He finds the camp turned into a nightmare. No food left. The prisoners have become cannibals. Zhilin intervenes, gives them hope. He's found a wrecked plane on the island that they can repair and use to escape. That tiny spark of hope transforms the violent cannibal group into something almost cooperative. But then soldiers bring a second group, American prisoners this time. The fragile peace shatters again. One thing that stood out, even though the soldiers and first prisoners are Russian, the experiment's architects feel American, like the movie saying dystopian ideas like this come from American minds. Interestingly, Rotten Tomatoes has no critic or audience scores for this movie, no reviews at all, like the West never really discovered it. On IMDb, it's 6.6 out of 10 from about 2,200 users, but on Russian site Kinopoiskik, it's higher at 7.0 out of 37,000 users. Shows how much more love it gets at home. Directed by Alexander Melnik, written by Arif Aliyev, stars Konstantin Lavranenko as Zhilin, Andrei Feskov, Marat Basharov, and others, even Tommy Tiny Lister in a role. Filmed in Russia, Ukraine, Malta, and Norway, big budget for Russia, estimated around $12 million, but it grossed only about $2.2 million worldwide, mostly in Russia, limited international reach. Released in Russia August 28, 2008, after festival premieres. My rating is 8 out of 10. It's a thought-provoking dystopian thriller and drama with strong ideas. We see how these experiments can go horribly wrong, what people turn into without order or law. And those cannibalism scenes are shocking horror I rarely see done this raw. Visually striking with the brutal Arctic landscape, Great performances, especially Lavranenko carrying the hope angle, and it makes you question society and human instincts. It's an old but really good underrated dystopian movie. I can totally rewatch it and recommend it to anyone who likes prison dramas, survival stories, Lord of the Flies vibes, or dark thrillers with social commentary. That's it for this movie review. What did you think of Terra Nova / Novaya Zemlya? Did the cannibal turns or the hope through the plane idea grab you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And here's a big one. Suggest a movie for my next watch. I'm hunting for something dystopian, prison/experiment themed, or brutal survival to keep the streak going, so hit me with your picks. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next hunt. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next one.